Hey Eurovision fans, what were the top 10 stagings of Eurovision 2024? I'm going to give you my top 10 and then we're going to look at the community rankings and see do they agree with me. One country got 0 points in the community rankings. We're going to find out who. So let's kiki. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Tom. I'm an Irish Eurovision analyst and you can find all of this stuff on my Eurovision channel. So I'm currently writing my grand final videos, but they take quite a lot of time to do. I'm currently writing my jury one. There's a lot of number crunching on spreadsheets. So I wanted to intersperse that with some kind of quicker videos as well. I thought it'd be fun to do a couple of top 10 lists. So the first one we're doing is top 10 stagings. I put a poll up on the community section. Thank you to everybody who went to EurovisionVote.Party and put in their top 10. This video is not sponsored by them. I just think the app is very useful for doing these top 10 lists. So I'm going to be using it for this series. So what is this list a top 10 of? It's basically looking at all the visual aspects that are on the stage. Lighting, camera cut, costumes, choreography, movement around the stage, anything of the visual aspect. So we're looking at how the countries brought a story and elevated their song. So I'm looking for the ones that really made me say, wow. There's a couple of countries this year where I was maybe sleeping on the song or the song wasn't that special. And then when I saw the visual package, it just elevated it, brought it to a new level and really stopped me in my tracks. So that's what I'm looking for. As for the community, they could do whatever the hell they wanted. And we're going to read out some of the comments that people put forward as well. Okay, so let's get straight into it. And I'm going to give you my number 10 first, and that is Lithuania. It's Sylvester Belt singing Luktelk. So I remember watching this way back when I saw Eurovision.LT. I did all the heat reviews this year and just thinking that looked really super cool and fresh. It gave me like a real futuristic feel. Reminded me a little bit of Blade Runner. I love this really simple red and black color palette. I love Sylvester's face on the back screen. Sometimes when people put their faces in, it can look a little bit off or it can look a little bit vain. I thought they did it really, really well. Just having him looking out into the distance, blues and reds looked really, really cool as opposed to like smizing into the camera and trying to be like too sultry and sexy. Also choreography wise, I love this dancing with the foot as well. I really like the styling. Some people didn't like his styling in the final. I thought it looked really cool. Cool, slick, future vibe, giving a little bit of Lithuanian fashion as well. So I really enjoyed this. I felt like it really elevated what was already a great song. I felt like the staging and the song really matched together really well as well. So it felt like a super cohesive package. Okay, now it's time for the community number 10. And with 529 points, it's Armenia singing Jacko. I get why this is so high. Really fun, vibrant staging, lots of cool colors. I love this circle effect they had on the back screen with the chickens and all this just fun traditional patterns feel. Big party happening on the stage on this pyramid, and obviously Jacko just being really charismatic and magnetic, moving around the stage. The whole thing felt very kind of like a big party. There was choreography in it, because obviously I saw the performance multiple times and it was mostly the same, but I like the way that it felt free range. not like an egg, but it felt like freehand. They kind of made it up spontaneous, fun, vivacious. So they gave the illusion of this kind of like wild, unpredictable party. So I totally get why people had this up so high. Did really well with the jury and the televote as well. Kind of surprising for a song. Feels like it has a little bit more of a televote flavor, but actually did very well with the jury. Okay, my number 9 staging is Georgia. It's Nutsa singing Firefighter. So if you follow me on Twitter, you may have seen me gushing about this when I saw the dress rehearsals. I think an element of it is I probably had slightly low expectations for Georgia because sometimes their staging has been a little bit hit or miss, but this was so well put together. The choreography, the camera cuts as well. I love some of these big high angles we got overlooking the stage where they used the LEDs on the ground and lots of fire. Like there was nothing super groundbreaking. It was a pretty standard fire staging, but it's really, really well refined. Nutsa gave really, really great confidence. I love some of the choreography as well. I like the styling of the dancers. So there were lots and lots and lots of great small decisions here, which all together made a really, really, really cool package. So this is really exciting to watch. My favorite girly bop staging this year. My favorite girly bop song is Malta, but my favorite girly bop staging is Georgia. So there's a split award. And I hope that Georgia can take the lessons that they learned from this, what worked, and apply that to next year and get a little bit of a qualification streak going. Okay, so the community number 9 with 548 points, it's Finland. Windows 95 man singing No Rules. So some of the comments here, Finland was super fun. Even if you hate the song, you can't deny it accomplishes the goal of being wacky and hilarious. Another one I laugh so hard every time those tiny shorts descend. We needed this kind of fun in our lives. Yeah, I think it is important to have these fun songs every year. I know some people don't enjoy them, but I really like having something kind of fun and kind of makes me forget all my worries for 5 minutes. Another one from Selfish Gene 81. Finland was just pure chaos and fun, and we never had a better time than when we're watching that, and it was so well thought out with the placing of everything and timing, etc. Okay, it's time for my number 8, and that is Sweden. It's Marcus and Martinus singing Unforgettable. Now, I gotta admit, I'm not super mad on this song. I much preferred Air from last year. I still listen to it occasionally, but the staging for this really elevated it for me. Really enjoy the super cool music video, Matrix, futuristic feel. I love the dancing, I love the pouting, I love the way Marcus and Martinus are really strong performers. I just think they've got great showmanship on stage. It's escapism, and it's this super high quality Swedish production that I absolutely love. This was a really great opener to the final. This is good staging when you take a song that you're just not really feeling that hot about, but you want to see the performance because it just looks so cool. It's Sweden with big lights. I don't care. Sweden are really good at doing staging with big lights, so they have my permission to keep doing that. It's working for them. They've hit the best record in the contest in the last 10 years. The way that they really push the boundaries and how you can make something look super cool with really basic materials, because really this was just like 2 walls of lights, but they made it look super expensive. Really great. Okay, so number 8 for the community with 582 points is Czechia. It's Aiko singing Pedestal. Really happy to see this so high. When I saw this was doing so well, this is actually as high as 5th in the polling when it started. So I actually went back and watched the video. Yeah, there's lots of really cool things here. I love how they brought the ceiling really low. Give this real kind of like claustrophobic, dangerous feel that was throughout the whole thing. Strong red and black color palettes. They had to change their styling. I know Aiko originally had her breasts were a little bit more visible. I think that they were probably forced to cover them up. They put some red sparkles on top. So the costumes were kind of daring. I like that Czechia were kind of going for something different, pushing the boundaries, being a little bit naughty. Cool camera cuts. They had some interesting things where the dancers were like 4 Icos. And then they had the moment where she went into the box. I don't think anyone else used the boxes as much as Czechia did. They used them at the start when they brought them down low. And then she went underneath. There were all the lights going through. And they also used the side of the boxes to show like people rocking out guitars. So there were lots of interesting ideas here. Again, Czechia really thinking outside the box. Unfortunately, this came 11th in the semi, so it was really close to qualifying. But I'm so happy to see that people put this in their top 10 staging in 8th place. Stevie Boy 666 says, I thought Czechia used the stage in a really interesting way with the roof LEDs, and overall it was quite a dynamic stage show that nearly brought about a qualification for a song that was pretty much ignored all season. Very true, because actually I saw very little hype for this on Twitter in terms of the actual song. A little bit of a spike when they did the revamp. Another comment here from the Eurovision vote. Massive glow up from the national final where the potential was real. The narrative in the semi-final was finally delivered. I really wanted Aiko to qualify. Great use of lightning boxes and screens to tell the story. So well done to Aiko for coming 8th in the community. Okay, in my 7th place, we have Finland. It's Windows 95 Man singing No Rules. This is our first crossover. Don't worry, there's going to be a couple more crossovers later on. Yeah, I love this as well. It's just really joyful to me, made me laugh, transported me away. I actually thought this was very cleverly done. I thought there were a lot of strong details in it. The egg, which I believe is this Finnish myth or fairy tale or something of the egg of creation, done in denim. The way that everything was organized, that people would pop out to cover up his groin, someone in the crowd doing cheering, some smoke, the person come on stage. I felt like this had a lot of thought put into it, and choreography and organization. And I felt like some people kind of just dismissed it as being a joke. It did have humor in it, but there was also a lot of work in this. And I thought that it was really well organized and laid out. The whole thing flowed. I absolutely loved this the first time I saw it in UMK. And you know, by the time I got to Eurovision, I was probably less wowed by it, but that's pretty normal when you've seen something for like the 4th, 5th time. It loses that first effect. Number 7th for the community is one that I've already had on my list. It's Sweden, Marcus and Martinus singing Unforgettable. Here's a comment. Definitely an unforgettable staging. I still love the little switcheroo that the twins do as they're singing, as they turn the stage into a Matrix dance party. Yes, Matrix dance party. That's a great way to describe it. And another comment. If it wasn't for how cool and high effort the staging was, I think I'd like the song a lot less. I'm definitely on board with that as well. Without the visual aspect, I just don't enjoy listening to the song as much. Okay, my number 6 is France, Smthngnw Mon Amour. Now, you may be a little bit surprised by this, but I gotta go back to the first time that he did this trick where he stood away from the mic and belted out. This was absolutely wow when I saw it the first time. And some people might say that this is part of the vocals. For me, this is a staging concept. It is the idea of him stepping away from the mic. So yeah, it is the wow factor. comes from his voice, but it's the way that they've used the stage and they're using a trick or a gimmick or however you want to describe it to elevate the staging and add in something kind of raw and vulnerable, which I really enjoyed. So this gave me super wow feelings when I saw it in Croatia. I also really liked some of the costuming decisions for the final. I thought his outfit in white looked gorgeous. I loved how his hair was done. I didn't like some of the bits where he's like kind of clawing at the camera. I never really liked that. So this could have been higher if they'd edited that out. But overall, I thought there's some really cool staging here, and I felt like it was a ballad that still was like very dynamic in what happened. Really great staging from France. And I felt like they learned from their mistake last year, which was too static, where she was stuck on top of the pillar. This year, they didn't box themselves into a corner this time. Okay, number 6 for the community with 643 points, only 6 points ahead of Sweden, is Portugal. It's Ilanda singing Grito. So we've got a comment here from Camilak 1248. Portugal was an easy choice for me. Very tasteful, minimalistic, perfectly corresponding with the song's theme. Amazing synchronization between the dancers and Yolanda. My favorite moment is when she waves her hand and the dancers lean to it. Absolute masterpiece. It moved me to tears. Very beautiful staging from Portugal. Minimalist, very serene, serious, really nice use of choreography. And again, elevating a ballad, not just having her standing there, bringing a story. Really lovely choreography. I would have loved a pop of color at the end. I felt that when she does the scream, even just having this like sliver or crack of color going across the screen would have been gorgeous. I think red would have been the most obvious color, but even a yellow or purple or green or something unexpected just would have added like an extra break from the black and white. But yes, really beautiful staging from Portugal. Another comment from online, beautiful, meticulous, fits the song, everything just works together really well. Now, my number 5 is Croatia. It's Baby Lasagna singing Rim Tim Tagi Dim. This wasn't perfect at the start. Indoor, it was a little bit messy. Baby Lasagna didn't have his full confidence yet. But by the time we got to Malmö, this was exceptional. I love the farmyard animals in neon. I love the costuming, giving that traditional feel. I felt his energy moving across the stage was great. Have to admit, I wasn't mad on the dancers. I felt like their choreography was just a little bit too wooden. I feel like that could have been elevated a little bit further. I like their traditional dances with their legs, but there were some bits when they're just doing simple arm movements, which I just thought was a bit too oversimplified. But the ending of the song is just incredible, where he's doing the fist pumps and we have the fire coming up and the farmyard animals, the cats walking at the back. Just so many iconic moments. Also, the hand movement is just so freaking clever. Actually, maybe I should bump it up because of that. I don't want to change my list. I probably should have bumped this up one spot. But just using everyone's wristbands, we all had wristbands in the arena, and getting them all synchronized just looks so super cool. It gave a real like public love feel to the song that people watching home were like, wow, this is like a massive big anthem arena hit. And it just worked to the song. It was really well done. Lots of great decisions, and this ended up winning the televote, so obviously super popular. Okay, number 5 for the public with 826 points. It's Ali Alexander singing Dizzy. So from ESC Hayden, UK for certain, while its OTT sexuality wasn't for everyone, the overall package was new and innovative. Would like to see that out of the box thinking, even when it comes to the song selection. So I assume he means he'd like to see a different type of song as well, but the staging really was something unique. I can't find any more comments on the UK because it's searching and it thinks I'm looking for Ukraine. Another comment from online, I'm a sucker for magic trick staging, perhaps too steamy for regular audiences, but for me this impressive staging has to go down as one of the greats. One guy was literally holding himself upside down, and I have photographic evidence of that as well. We have another comment here. Great concept, like Lorraine last year. The staging was heavily geared to the TV audience. No way did it deserve nil points. Those dancers showed amazing strength and skill. Okay, my number 4 is Ukraine. Jerry Heil and Aliona. Gorgeous staging, really pretty. I love how they big switch up from Vidbeer, just how much they change, that they're so full of ideas. For me, the key thing, which I kept on going on about, was this hand as she walked up the hill. Such a small detail just adds so much storytelling. This drag, this pull, this fight as she's working her way up the hill. Really clever. Ukraine always deliver magical staging. This is no exception. I like their styling as well, the gold and the silver, giving kind of like female warrior vibes as well. Just loads of like really cool elements. One thing I wasn't mad about was when Jerry came on the LED screen. I'm still not sure why that happened, because I was there in the arena. I was looking to see was there a transition or something, but there wasn't. So I don't know what was happening that they needed to show that, but it was a little bit unusual. Otherwise, though, I thought this was really super magical and deserved its high place. Okay, 4th place for the public with 889 points is Croatia. Baby Lasagna Rim Tim Tagi Dim. We have a comment here from Leandert. Croatia was just spot on and he showed so much growth since Dora. Yeah, this really improved and he did a lot of work to improve it as well. He went on a lot of TV shows, did a lot of appearances to build up his confidence and it really worked at the end. A couple of comments from the EurovisionVote.Party. It was fun. Loved the neon animals, the meshing of modern and traditional. That's a really good comment. The way that they mix the two really cohesively. Another comment, the neon cats and farm animals contrast with the plumes of smoke and stark white lighting to bring to life a 3-minute leaving home cultural extravaganza. This is poetry. Wide and close-up camera shots of the audience singing along enhance that I'm witnessing a live concert feel. Brilliant. Great comment there. Okay, my number three is Switzerland. It's Nemo singing The Code. Again, a song that I was absolutely gushing about online. Just really, really stunning performance. Very risky and dangerous and difficult to perform as well. The technical skill involved, the balance that Nemo had to have to get on and not fall off and move around and hit all the timings. I remember they had a clip where they had elbow and knee pads on while they were practicing this. This is Fredrik Rudman, who did the staging for Garia last year. So he's on a great streak of being second last year. I thought the prop looked really expensive. I thought they used it in a very clever way to give this sense of chaos and danger and not feeling stable and safe, and then finally finding stability at the end of the song. The prop wasn't just like a big gimmick. It felt like it fit the theme of the song, the uneasiness, the instability. Really, really clever way of incorporating a very autobiographical song into the staging. I feel like this was a collaboration between Fredrik Rudman and Nemo. Really effective. Love the whizzing at the end, using the LEDs to give this sense of blurred lights as well. So many great decisions. Normally, Sacha Jean-Baptiste does Switzerland staging. I think she took a gap this year because she was doing the production of the main show. I feel that was probably good for Switzerland because she would have brought her chic and elegance to it, but I felt like this pairing with Fredrik Rudman and Nemo was perfect, and the staging just brought the whole thing to life. Let's see what the public put as our number 3. We have another crossover with 1,623 points. It is Switzerland. So you guys agreed with me, this is the third best. Casey Cabral says, Switzerland for how thematically rich it was, the clever references it was pulling from Brecht, Stop Making Sense, and especially The Matrix. Plus, it made me happy to see that Benke Rudman finally found in Nemo an artist who could keep up with his ambitious concepts and then some. So yeah, definitely you need to have these staging directors. They're not going to work with everybody. They really do need to find like a match. There has to be a spark with the artist. A comment from Eurovision Vote. How did they stay on the disc and still sound amazing? Really great props for being able to do that and still keep the vocals perfect. Another one. The staging was dripping with symbolism, showing the ups and downs of their life. This all leads to the epic moment of finding balance while belting out perfect vocals. Yeah, it was the way that they were able to sound so good while doing this. There's real talent here in performance to be able to do all of that, remember every mark, hit everything, while acting, still portraying the emotional song and hitting the vocals. There's a lot of talent there. Okay, my number 2 is the UK. It's Ali Alexander singing Dizzy. I freaking love this. Now I get the comments about people saying that this wasn't appropriate for everyone, and I get why some people thought this was overtly sexualized, but I just love this. This was like real dirty, naughty music video. I loved all the gymnastics. I was standing at the back so I could see them getting ready for the opening shot where people are upside down. The first time I watched this, I watched it on the screen and couldn't see what was happening in the box. And I remember just being totally mesmerized how cool it looked. I know some people, they didn't like seeing the trick without knowing how it was done. I didn't mind. I just felt it was totally magical and transportative. That's not a word. I'm making it a word. Yeah, I just thought this was brilliant. I love the boxing theme. I love this dirty shower setting they were in and just all the tricks that happened. Just really cool. So fun, imaginative. I've watched this like 10 times. I'm going to watch it another 10, 20 times. I just think it's so entertaining. I really like the song as well. I did feel like the song suffered from how complex the staging was. His vocals slipped a little bit. Still think it looks amazing though. Okay, your number 2 with 1,809 points is Ukraine. Ukraine wins my favorite standalone visual, as the image of Jerry Heil walking up the hill is just incredible. I totally agree. Ukraine was magnificent and very powerful to translate their message. I love the comet shower of Ukraine. Absolutely beautiful. My number 3. From Eurovision Vote, we have one comment. Again, what can be said that hasn't been said already? There's a reason Ukraine are considered some of the best stagers in all of ESC. Yeah, this didn't come out of nowhere. They've been staging incredibly forever. So, and I think the Tanya Smthngnw was the stager this year. So real big talent. I think that hopefully she'll be back next year as well, because she did a great job. My number one and the community number one is the same thing. Let's not beat around the bush. With 2,660 points, my number one, your number one is Ireland. It's Bambi Thug singing Doomsday Blue. Yeah, this is amazing. I think everybody remembers where they were when the first 30-second clip hit that we saw online of this twisting. The whole thing is just a cinematic masterpiece. The camera cuts are just so exciting. Everything flows perfectly. The dancing was great. The decision making with the candles, the way that they turn them on with their hands, bringing in the ballet skills, the exorcism at the end, just absolutely stunning. The whole thing's magical. I just pure joy at seeing Ireland really be the best staging in Eurovision. I think pretty much most people agree. Obviously, you're not going to have a unanimous opinion, but yes, this got so many 12 points, having an 800-point lead over Ukraine in second place. So really super far ahead. It got like most of the 12s. Yeah, this is just absolutely fantastic. I think this just shows as well that if Ireland sends something really good, it's going to get love straight away. This incredible new staging director who's only 23 years old, we need to hold on to him and keep him for next year. But I really do feel like he's only going to want to work with people who have this kind of like dark energy or like very ambitious, edgy feel, which Bambi had. Fair play to Bambi for sourcing out all these people and creating this incredible team and being incredible on stage as well. Acting, dancing, singing, moving all around the place, just being really amazing. The costume reveal, the slow walk towards the end, which just looked just so many incredible decisions. Totally think this deserves to be number one. All the comments on the community, pretty much all of them are about Ireland and how it worked. Basically saying Ireland's the clear standout when it comes to staging. Amazing visuals from start to finish, especially the climax with the bold blue tones contrasting the earlier pinks. Ireland takes this 100%. As a standalone song, I somewhat struggle to listen. Oh, I better go. But wow, I could watch their performance all day. Absolutely captivating, and Bambi's result was thoroughly deserved because of this. Okay, so let's take a look at the full results of the community poll. And if we look at the bottom right, in 37th place, we have Albania, the only country who unfortunately didn't get a single point. So for me, this is a little bit shocking because I've heard a rumor that this staging was actually done by Fredrik Rudman as well. If you've got confirmation of that, please do leave a comment. But I'm surprised that he did such a great job with Switzerland, but then Albania's staging felt so flat. I felt like it had some interesting things in it, but just overall, the story and the message of the song just didn't come across clearly. It looked a little bit like a hodgepodge of ideas that kind of looked cool, but didn't elevate the song for me. And we know that normally Albania uses Sasha Jean-Baptiste for their staging, but this year she was unavailable because she was a producer on the main show. In 36th place, we have Denmark, not really inspiring people. And, you know, considering that they came 12th in their semi-final, you would think that if they had staging that was a bit more wow, they probably could have made it across the line. So definitely Denmark need to go back to the drawing board in terms of wowing people with their staging. 35th place, we have Belgium. This is super low for Belgium, considering that they are around 10th or 11th in the Eurovision scoreboard. A really popular song this year that was 5th or so in the odds. And then the staging just really flopped. You can see here, not very many people putting it in their top 10 at all. And they surprise non-qualified. Was it a surprise? I don't know. Actually, in the end, I think it was a little bit less of a surprise once people had seen the rehearsal clips. But yes, only 15 points for them. 34th place, another non-qualifier. It's Australia with 18 points. Azerbaijan, another non-qualifier. You can see the pattern here with 22 points. Iceland also getting 22 points as well. Moldova 34. Our lowest qualifier is Israel with 34 points. Luxembourg with 37, Estonia with 58, Latvia with 75. In 26th place, we have Poland with 86. So that is our 4th highest non-qualifier. 25th place for Cyprus, 24th for Italy. Really super low in the end. I know a lot of people a little bit disappointed in this staging. It looked a little bit murky, kind of hard to make things out. Not really as good as the music video, which had this really super cool mix of modern and classical Roman feel. 23rd place for Serbia with 130 points. Austria in 22nd with 139. Spain with in 21st, big jump up to 172. Germany doing well in 20th place, 176. Germany being 20th out of 37 for staging. I think a lot of Germans would have been happy if they'd been shown the results of this poll at the start of the season. 19th place for Slovenia with 204 points. I have to admit, I was considering putting Slovenia into my top 10. They were one of the countries who made my shortlist. 18th place for Malta with 233 points. So that is our third highest non-qualifier. Greece, 269. Really, really cool, interesting staging from Greece. Our second highest non-qualifier is San Marino with 335 points. I thought this staging was really super cool. Love the color palette, the vibe to it. A couple of decisions I didn't like so much. I think there were a few too many times where the camera looked a little bit frenetic and shaky, and I don't think that fully worked. But I really did think there were a lot of good ideas in here as well. Georgia in 15th with 346 points. I had them as my 9th place. Netherlands in 14th with 382. Now, I think that they hyped this up a lot. I remember them saying that there was something that's never been done before. I kind of thought it was going to be a little bit more ambitious. I actually thought there was going to be a hologram of his parents on the stage or something just a little bit more groundbreaking. I think I was a tiny bit underwhelmed just because they hyped it up so much. I think without the hype, I think I probably would have been satisfied because I thought this staging was super fun and I thought the ending was really gorgeous. 13th place for Lithuania, 12th for Norway, who I also had in my shortlist because I really did think that the MGP performance was wow. I have to admit, I don't think it elevated a lot from MGP because I liked those on-screen nature graphics that they had in Melodi Grand Prix, and they got rid of those. France in 11th with 498 points, and you know the rest because I already told you earlier on in the video. So that is your votes for the top 10 stagings in Eurovision 2024. Thank you to everybody who went onto EurovisionVote.Party and voted. Thank you very much to Dan, who runs that app as well, for helping me organize this. And he sent me the comments. Sorry that I wasn't able to read the names for those comments because the names aren't attached to them. So if you want your name read out on the next video, please leave a comment on the community panel because then I can see your username. So as for my next video, you may be wondering what is the next top 10 video, and it's going to be lyrics. What are the top 10 lyrics of Eurovision 2024? I'm going to post that poll up on my community page pretty soon. So subscribe and keep an eye out for that poll when it goes up. No new donations on PayPal or Buy Me Coffee, but if you want to support the channel, I'll leave links to you in the description down below. And of course, thank you to all my wonderful patrons all around the world for supporting the channel, particularly in the off season. I think they're very much keeping the channel going whilst we're waiting for the Eurovision 2025 season to begin. And don't forget to leave a like and maybe share the video. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another Eurovision analysis video very soon. Goodbye.